It's sort of like walking through the door and believing that you know what is in this enormous room that has all sorts of accoutrements inside of it. Walking through the door makes it possible for you to understand what is in the room, and yet you must enter the room, you must live in the room, you must experience life in the room to know what that room truly is. And as you are in this room and you walk around and you revolve around this room, going around in a circle, so to speak, you will begin to realize that inside of you, you are revolving as well. That's where the word revolution comes from. And though the term revolution in the world right now means an uprising, what it really means is coming full circle. Revolution is coming full circle. And because it means something that is in motion, it is not something that you can grasp. It is not something that you can fit into some kind of concept or model. It is a constant recycling of energy, information, states of being, and a realignment, not a recreation, but a realignment with new aspects that emerge from the void from which everything comes. And we say it is not a creation because everything has already been created. Everything that is, is. All that is. And it is merely a matter of you aligning yourself with those aspects that you want to resonate with in that isness that bring you to a place where you begin to realize that you are in this constant cycle of revolution, of revolving, of going around and around and finding clearer and clearer, more immaculate, more pristine ways of being. And since these cycles are always coming from the unknowable, there is no way to know what they are going to be. Hence, every time you make a turn or a revolution around the cycle, you're in a place that was unknowable to you before, and now you are there. And as you come into the new aspect of what is new or different or unknowable, you begin to realize that there is no way that you will ever understand what is to come, because each cycle emerges from what science calls the zero-point energy field as a virtual set of particles that emerge and emit themselves into this world, and then in a very precise way, through your contemplation of them, assemble into your reality. Then another cycle comes around and it disassembles, that's the chaos, and new order comes into being. So each revolution is a breaking away from the old patterns. Each revolution is a dissolution of the old patterns, which brings about a resolution to what is occurring. If you will allow yourself to experience this, what you are going to find out is that it is never ending. It is constant. It is always. And yet there is an alignment process that you want to do with yourself to bring yourself into the releasement of that which you are holding on to, so that this becomes your only state of being. There is no way to tell you precisely, do this and that will happen. There is no way to say, oh, all right, I'm here now and this is all I need, nothing more is needed. What you need to do is totally empty yourself out of all the beliefs, the patterns, the models, the structures that you have been living through, so that you are a clear slate for the next aspect of the cycle that is coming around to embrace you as you embrace it. What you are doing when you do this is you are opening the cage door within the cage of your own making. You hold the key, and you are allowing yourself to be free, because you no longer hold on to any of the beliefs or models or patterns or habits that you used to call your own. This literally transmutes your entire body, your mind, your heart, and addresses the desires of your soul in this experience, in this life. All of your perceptions change. The interpretation of everything that you're going to experience changes. The significance of life changes, and you begin to realize that as God in form, you are constantly in a cycle of emerging from and re-merging into the vastness of the void, the nothing place, the shunyata, and that this is your deepest joy. This is your greatest passion. It doesn't make any difference what else you're doing. It doesn't make any difference how anything else happens or how anything else turns out. That is why it is called an awakening, or enlightenment, or self-realization, or self-actualization, all those words that mean I know myself. You only know yourself when you release anything that clutters up that knowing, which is all of your beliefs and all of your patterns and all of your habits. It's sort of like a junk heap that you kind of keep shuffling through, a very messy toy box, if you would. And when you release that, and you let it go, and you know that the only thing you wish to perceive is how you are going to respond in every single moment to life as it is, then you recenter, realign, and reharmonize yourself with only one resonant frequency, that of the Absolute. This makes you in alignment with Source as consciousness and form. This makes you aware of your expression of that form, and it divests you of fear, anxiety, worry, concern. Nothing makes any difference anymore because you are all that is, so you embrace all that is. Whether you do this, whether this takes place or not, depends on certain attributes that you allow to take place. First of all is your intention, because it is your intention that is going to be the driving force for this particular aspect of your awakeness. If there is any clouding or fogginess within your intention, it will show up as cloudiness and fogginess in your perception. Then when someone says something to you or asks you a question, or even if you ask a question of yourself, you'll find it difficult to bring about any kind of clear answer, because the fog will be cluttering the response. The only place that you can go to access this clarity is definitely not in your mind. It is within the silence that you create in every single day, when you sit in that inner silence and you allow it to speak to you, and you emerge from that silence fully foundationed, grounded, anchored in a state of beingness that is unshakable. Then again, as we said, it doesn't make any difference what happens, because you encompass it all. And you know that beyond your mind, beyond all the limiting factors of humanity's conditioned mass consciousness, is the holy of holies of your own sacred heart. This is the place you go each day. This is the temple into which you enter each day. It is your awareness that you bring to the moment of silence. And in that silence, as you take your awareness into the depths of the void that lives within the very inner core of your being, you realize that there is nothing else that you would desire except this state of resonance with yourself, because you are the essence of your presence in form, in this moment, and then for eternity. For this did you come. For this did you choose yourself. Do not forget it. It is the reason you became human. Now let that humanness be your reason to be.